وسلم على رسوله الكريم أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أرأيت الذي يكذب بالدين فذلك الذي يدع اليتيم ولا يحض على طعام المسكين وقال تبارك وتعالى
ويطعمون الطعام على حبه مسكينا ويتيما وأسيرا.
Thanks unto Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He has granted us this opportunity to gather together for good, and this is the best of gatherings, the gathering that is for good. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Himself has mentioned, ta'awanu 'ala al-birri wat-taqwa, help one another in goodness and in piety. So this is a gathering that we are gathered here together to help one another to perform good deeds. And this is one of the best of good deeds, as the hadith was put up, the hadith from Sahih al-Bukhari, and you will find it. I suggest you should all try and find it. It's in the very first book, Kitab al-Iman. You will find the hadith where a Sahabi came and asked the Prophet ﷺ, what is the best in Islam? What is the best thing in Islam? And he said two things. Afshu salam wa akram al-ta'am. Spread the peace and feed the hungry, or feed food to the people. So as you can see, that is the motto that AMFHR has used, that they want to feed the hungry and they want to spread peace through that. And this is the best way really, as Brother Ghani said, to change the perception of Muslims in this society and around the world. And as far as what I wanted to talk about, there's nothing really to talk about. We all know this. There's nothing, you just have to open the Quran and you'll find so many ayat referring to feeding the hungry, spending on the poor, But the one thing I just wanted to leave you with is that the ayah that I read, وَيُطْعِمُونَ الطَّعَامَ عَلَى وَجْهِهِ مِسْكِينًا وَيَتِيمًا وَأَسِيرًا, that they feed the hungry and the poor and the captive, not because they think that this is a good deed and if we do it we feel good. They say we do it only for the sake of Allah. They say that we are doing this only for the sake of Allah. We don't even want to hear you say thank you. If you don't say thanks to us, that's even the better, because that means that we will get our full reward with Allah. And that is the intention that we all should have, including the organizers of this organization, that they should not expect anything from the people, whether the ones they are feeding or the ones who are helping them, or the ones who are supporting them, but rather they should expect only from Allah their reward. And inshallah that will become something that will be counted on the day of judgment, and maybe this might become the excuse that Allah is looking for forgiving them. And this is all we strive for, that we strive for the pleasure of Allah and we strive for Jannah. And the good thing is that brothers are involving the youth, and I think that's very important, because today we are here, tomorrow we may not be here, unless and until we prepare the next generation for taking on these activities. They will die out after we go away, And the other thing I do want to stress is that we have to get the masajid involved in this process. They are very afraid of it because they think this will open the masjid to a lot of liability. If somebody comes in and falls or gets sick or whatever else, they might sue the masjid, so and so. So I think AMFHR, one of their duties is, one of their roles and goals should be to educate the boards of the masajid as to what are the legal implications of running a soup kitchen in their premise. Because until and unless they understand that, they will be very hesitant to open up the masajid. And unless and until you open up the masajid, the perception is not going to change. Because no matter what you do, if you feed in a soup kitchen which is managed by Christians, it will be seen as a Christian activity. If it is done by Jews, it's a Jewish activity. If it's done by the YMCA or the Kiwanis Club, even though Muslims are feeding there, maybe some people will walk away with that perception it's a Muslim thing. But majority of the people will still see it as a non-Muslim or secular kind of activity. So it is imperative that soup kitchens run out of the masajid and people come to the masajid to get the food. Because that's the only way that they will associate masajid with food. Otherwise they will not associate it. So next time when they pass by a masjid, they'll say, oh yeah, that's where I had my food when I was hungry. And maybe the people who are homeless today, they may not remain homeless throughout their life. Their fortunes can change. Tomorrow they may become some people which have got a lot of influence. Maybe even one or two of them. But if they carry with them this perception that yes, I remember when my time was tough, You know, when I was a kid and my parents were hungry, I was taken to a masjid and I was given food. That will have a tremendous impact. We don't realize this now. We are sowing the seeds of something that may bear fruit generations later. But again, of course, that should not be our first goal. Our first goal is to seek the pleasure of Allah. And as far as funding for this project is concerned, I'm pretty sure you can give zakat for this project. And if somebody wants to ask me under what heading it will come under Al-Mu'allafatu Qulubun. It will come in the joining of the hearts, to create love in the hearts of the people who are new Muslims or non-Muslims towards Islam. Because you know, no matter sermons, how many sermons I give you, if your stomach is empty, everything will pass over it. Okay? So first thing, you feed the person. Then if he asks you, you know, why you're doing this, you explain to him that this is your duty in the sight of Allah. And lastly, I just want to give this very important, especially for the young people who are sitting here, you know, and maybe even for the older people. We don't realize this, but let me tell you, and you can challenge this to anybody, any friend of yours who thinks he knows a lot about his faith, not just Muslim, non-Muslim specifically. Ask them, what does your faith say about generosity and being charitable? And I can guarantee you that all of them will say, oh yeah, when we give charity, we are doing a great favor. We are doing a good deed. None of them will say that our faith teaches us that the poor have a right in our wealth. Only Islam says that. Only Islam says that don't think when you give to the poor, you're doing them a favor. You're giving them what is due to them anyway. They have a right in your wealth. وَفِي أَمْوَالِهِمْ حَقٌّ مَعْلُومٌ لِلسَّائِلِ وَالْمَحْرُومِ. In their wealth is a recognized right of the poor and the deprived. No other faith tells you that it's a right. Everybody says, oh, you do give something to the poor, you did a big deed, good deed, you did a great favor for them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, reverse, don't think about doing favor, you're giving them the right. If you don't do it, on the day of judgment they'll hold you. You had, our right was there in your wealth, you didn't give us our right. What happens to the one who does not give the right of somebody? He's a zalim. He's a zalim in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's an unjust person. That, for example, if I owe you some money and I don't give it to you, what do you call me? Same thing. We owe it to them to give them help. You know. So this is the only thing that I have not found in any faith. You know. So this is what I wanted to leave you with. That please help and support the organization. Spread the message and let people know, and especially our youth, get them involved in this activity. The other thing I do want to mention this. Why I say the youth again and again. Because when you are a young man, and we were young people, you know, we used to wander around aimlessly. We didn't know what to do. We had a lot of energy, but we really didn't have a cause. This is the cause you want to give to the people. Get the youth involved. You say, oh, our kids are all the time playing video games. They are on that. They don't have a cause. They are aimless. They are drifting away. Give them a cause, and then you see how they will take this cause and run, you know, miles ahead of you. You'll be left panting, trying to catch up with them. So that's what I want to also say, that get the youth involved, get them interested in this, and then you'll see, they'll forget about all the other things. They get involved. Because anyway, in a good deed, the best thing is, you feel the satisfaction that you'll never feel otherwise. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المؤمنين والمؤمنات إنه هو الغفور الرحيم.